Hi.
Welcome guys to Now That's What I Call a Talk Show. I'm Faye Louise.
And I'm Jessie Endel.
And what a show we've got for you.
Oh yes.
Well, should we start?
We
now
shall.
That's What I Call Entertainment.
Do you want to go first? You let them know what's going on in the world. Breaking
Well,
news.
Congratulations Kylie Jenner on your unusual choice of a baby name.
Stormy. Stormy with an I.
Do you think it was like raining or snowing, or was she in like a hurricane when she chose the name, or what?
I think the Kardashians must just have a thing that they've got to call each child a more ridiculous name, because that...
Like a competition?
Like a competition, yeah. That child is going to be called Stormy until she's old enough to want to change it to maybe something a little bit more... not
What?
as Kardashian-esque.
So is it Stormy Jenner?
I think so.
Stormy Jenner. Okay.
Anyway,
So that's
yeah.
2 out of 3. We've got Kim's baby. We've got Kylie's baby. Chloe's baby's coming soon.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumours of Caitlyn. I mean,
so far.
could be
the
a
way it's going
possibility.
in that family, everyone's getting pregnant.
Everyone
in that family is getting pregnant.
Coming up on the segment, we do have Vikki from Vie Aesthetics.
Yes, we'll be having a live chat from her from Milan.
From Milan. Well, she didn't invite us, so we're going to have words.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about, congratulations, Courtney.
Yes, Big Brother.
Big Brother was fantastic.
Big Brother.
Courtney, the deserving winner, I feel.
Yeah.
Also coming up, we do have a discussion with Jay. Some serious heat's been going down.
Yeah.
And we just want to see, you know, his opinion and see what's going on there.
Looking forward to chatting with Jay. We're also going to be chatting about...
A scam.
A scam, yeah. It's the only
A
way
scam
about
going
it.
across the
Scam.
country.
International scam.
International
An
scam.
international scam. So, should we start with Big Brother?
Yes, well, big congratulations to Courtney.
Massive congratulations to Courtney.
And
Well
Andrew.
done. And Andrew.
I would say and Andrew. We've got Vikki joining us shortly. And we know she has some involvement with some of the people from Big Brother.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to talk to her, see if she's worked with anyone from Big Brother and what people are like in real life.
Yes, 'cause it's very different what you see on the screen. I don't really look like this. This is a mask. It's actually a filter. It's called soft pose.
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is face soft pose. Anyway, getting back to Big Brother, so we're happy that that Courtney won. But I would have been happy either way.
And?
I actually would have been. I don't agree. I said it on the last show. We both said it. I don't agree with any of Anne's views, but some of them I'm kind of fine that I do. Things like the gay marriage. I do support gay marriage, but I just think the way Anne kind of describes things, she describes it in a way where you kind of get where she's coming from, and it's her opinion, and it's kind of the she has her opinion, you have your opinion. The world goes on, kind of thing. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Anne should have won? Do you think Courtney should have won? Do you think Wayne should have won?
Nah, I think...
4.9%.
I can't even... Oh, Shane from Boyzone.
Shane from Boys.
Oh.
He wouldn't himself for just being on the show. I mean, it was
yeah.
a paid gig.
It was a paid gig. He didn't even have to do anything. He just made sandwiches.
And tea.
And tea, very important.
So I'd have been happy.
You would have been in your element.
And don't forget, guys, you must share, keep sharing the video. We want to spread our show as many and as far people as possible. We do have Vikki joining us very shortly. She's just putting on a lipstick, I am told.
Oh.
So, I think we should discuss Talent Inc.
Talent Inc.
So come on then, Jossie, because you got through.
Okay, so we'll have to give the story of this, just to give it a little bit of context. A few weeks ago, Faye tagged me in something on Facebook, and she was like, do you think this is legit? Blah blah blah. Do you think we should maybe go to it? It was for an audition for a talent agency, which is how they describe themselves. We were both a bit dubious, but we kind of just thought, let's go in this with an open mind. So we went to this workshop audition on Sunday, and well, I think they were the best con artists I've ever seen. Very good actors.
Oh yes, there was 4 of them in total. 2 men and a lady. They offered the management to get you in front of the right people, get you seen by the right credentials, get the right people taking you on, and they only wanted £2,000.
Just £2,000. So we knew that, and the cruise, this cruise.
Oh yeah, you go on a cruise as well, guys. So you don't just pay this money to be putting the right people. You go on a cruise with them. I don't know what happened on this cruise.
We don't even know where the cruise
We don't know where the cruise went, but unfortunately I didn't get through.
She was devastated, obviously.
I don't know what I'm going to do. And Jossie did, so just to keep you aware, Talent Inc. casting auditions, don't go.
Oh, don't waste your time.
And spread the word, because what upset us most, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't me, it wasn't you, it was the kids.
Yeah.
It was the little kids there, and they were really excited, and they were just so like, oh yeah, this is going to be great, and it was just a case of taking money.
Basically.
And that's basically it. I'm going to move it forward, because we've just had Vikki join us, so I'm just going to invite Vikki, guys. 2 seconds. Oh, Vikki, can you hear us? If you want to request to be in the broadcast, I think you'll... Sorry, Jossie, I'm just stretching over you. I think you'll be able to do it now. It's like the curse of the video. Yes, so Vikki, if you should see at the bottom of your screen, to join us, you can join, and if you just click on that, it's not allowing us to ask you for some reason, which is stupid. Sorry about this, guy.
Wonders of live.
The wonders of live TV, I tell you. Let me, I'm just going to, Jossie, I'm reaching over you. Tyne Ferry. So... just going to sort this out. And... right. It's not letting us bring her on. Once again. So, is there any way for you to request to join the video, Vikki? It might be time zone difference, or I don't know what it could be actually. It happens a lot.
Yeah. What's happening on The Voice, Faye?
Oh, nothing's happening on The Voice. Nothing is happening on The Voice.
Nothing is
I
happening.
am going to... Oh! It's a green button next to the thumbs up. It's a green button next to the thumbs up. We've been told it's a green button. It's a green button next to the thumbs up, Vikki. You might have to be on... you're on your mobile or the computer. And you might actually have to be in the app. Sorry about this, guys. I can bring her up on the phone.
Like we did last week.
Like we did last week, but... might not be the case. Because we can bring Jay. Jay, don't worry, you're going to be coming on soon. But we can't seem to invite you, Vikki. I don't know if that's... might be on your side. Right.
Oh, I think I know
on
how.
computer.
I think I know how we can get Jay and not Vikki.
How?
I'm not friends with Vikki on Facebook.
It doesn't matter.
But I'm friends with Jay and I can get him on. Because we're not watching through my personal Facebook.
No, because Vikki's... it has to be on your phone. Vikki, can you switch over to your phone? Is that possible? Let us know.
Thanks, Stephen.
Let us know. We're going to see if Vikki can switch over on her phone. If she can, we're going to go live. But let's just get back to the entertainment section. Just while we're waiting, see if Vikki can jump on her phone. If not, then we're going to go straight over to the discussions. I just want to clarify, guys, if you've just joined us, please share, because we want to get this going out everywhere. More entertainment that has just came in. I think it is entertainment because it was on television, right?
Right.
So, we're going to discuss this as well, a little bit in the news segment. But did you watch the Jamie Bulger documentary?
We did.
It's kind of like there's never going to be enough justice for that.
There's never enough. Okay,
I'll try on my phone as well. Vikki, you're a diamond. As soon as you're on, then we'll go straight to Vikki. So we're going to cover this in the news, but it just comes down to I don't really feel enough's done. A TV show does not kind of even in any way show what really happened.
Oh no, it never will. It never will.
I don't believe. I feel they tried to, if anything, childlike them, like make them more likable in a sense with the voices, the stuff. They just sounded like kids, but they were kids. But they were murderers.
Killed a young boy.
They were murderers, regardless of anything. They were murderers, and we've got so much more to discuss in the news segment, but we just want to get your mind thinking about that just while we're waiting for Vikki. I don't want to just sit here. I could have just sat here. We want to get a real big discussion because, you know, they're out now. One of them's back in prison because of child pornography, and on second occasion now. And it's just kind of becomes a bit of a joke. I feel it's like, oh, they weren't even away long enough to start with. And then they don't do anything after they're out. They just let them get on with it. We're just waiting for Vikki, guys, to join us on the phone. We're hoping she's coming soon. But we just kind of wanted you to kind of think about that. Think about what the show really did, because we didn't find it did much, other than remind us of such a traumatic crime.
Yeah.
Just waiting for Vikki, guys. She's a coming, I'm sure. So what did you all think of the after party photos on did you see them, Big Brother?
The after party photos from Big Brother. I've been watching Courtney and
well, I've been watching Courtney and
Andrew's romance played out on their Instagram story.
I really love it. We love it.
Me too. Andrew's really nice.
Andrew is really nice. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes, guys, just for Vikki. If she's there, we'd love to hear from her. She's going on her phone. I know she's in Milan. What can we say? Show business.
She's in Milan.
She's in Milan. But what we are discussing, so we're going to go into it. Hopefully, she can join us. Is surgical and non-surgical cosmetic procedures for men, women, someone who was wanting to feminise, masculinize, everything like that.
Old and young.
Old, young. Is there ever too much? We've seen the images of yay, she is. Yay. Of Jordan recently. And it's upsetting, it's a bit upset for us.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see me? Hi.
How is it in Milan?
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's a little bit cold, but quite sunny. It was.
You could have told us. We could have flew over for the show.
We could have.
Oh my God! You can still join me. I'll be here tomorrow as well.
Oh, so lucky, so lucky. I am honestly with envy so much. So we've just started the subject about cosmetic surgery. But first of all, could you just introduce yourself, darling? Just tell everyone a little bit about you, just so everyone kind of knows.
So yes, hi. My name's Vikki. As you've already told everybody, I'm the director and CEO of Vie Aesthetics. Vie Aesthetics. We have 4 clinics. We're in Germany, we're in London, we're in Essex, 2 clinics in Essex. We are also now, we have a partnership and clinic in Dubai, just recently added to our clinics. And yes, what we do is everything that you would want to achieve in terms of rejuvenation, restoring, whatever, you know, age has done to you, or corrections, but non-surgical. So without going under the knife. Sorry about the picture because I'm holding my phone up, so it wouldn't work on the computer.
You look as beautiful as ever. Don't you worry, honestly.
Great. You look great, ladies. So I wanted to join in, but because I was looking for my phone, obviously. So you were talking about surgery and plastic surgery. What was the discussion about?
Yes, so we've been looking at it, we've been reading some articles, and we just kind of wonder, is there ever too much? I mean, we've seen the images of Jordan surfacing after, as she admits, her botched surgery. We have the human Ken doll, met many times, by the way, and I have to say, what a delightful gentleman.
He's lovely. We met him. He came
He's
to our
absolutely
clinic in
lovely.
Harley recently. He's a gorgeous, gorgeous person. In real life, he doesn't look as extreme as in the papers, I have to say, and he's a really lovely person. Now, there are lots of issues connected to going and having plastic surgery or having aesthetic procedures. And what we always do when our clients, when we first meet our clients, is find out what they're really, what they're after. In some cases, it's quite obvious. There are things like, you know, nose corrections, straightening, or people having head scars, injuries, or having lost lots of volume in the face because of sometimes illness, because of lifestyle or age. It's quite straightforward. So what we do is we restore, we volumize, we do facelifts, we work on the body. And what we do as a clinic is looking to achieve a natural looking result. So
Yeah.
when one of the things that I do, and the doctor, obviously our medical doctor, is screening our clients and making sure they are actually emotionally also strong enough, and they're making the right decisions in terms of what the outcome will be, and also making sure they have realistic expectations. So it's a very important part of our work is actually educating people.
Yeah.
Having
That's
a
what I
very,
mean
very
about
thorough interview, finding out what it is they want to achieve. And we have had people in the clinic who, I mean, we had somebody, we were on Channel 5 in the summer, I think. Somebody wants to look like Katie Price, for instance, Liam Pricey. What we did is we had a very good discussion about why somebody wants to look like somebody else. What is it they want? And it was very interesting that at some point during our discussion stroke interview, Liam said, yes, I want the lifestyle of Katie Price. I want her fame.
Yeah, well, the look's not gonna give you the lifestyle.
Exactly. So what we are trying to do is support the person and make them see what will look good in their case. Now,
and you've helped a lot of ladies who were transitioning as well, haven't you?
yes, I mean, one of our brand ambassadors, one of the faces of Vie Aesthetics, is a transgender actress and model, gorgeous, our Nicole, and we are working with them, we are supporting them, and we are helping them achieve a natural looking result. So in terms of surgical procedures that you can have, aesthetics procedures in supporting your transition is looking at features in the face, the obvious thing being hair removal, a permanent hair removal. We look at the lips, because the lips can make you just can change the whole expression of the face, make you look more feminine. We work on cheeks. There is a different way of injecting cheeks to make the face more masculine, and a different way of making it look more feminine. We help with nose shaping, lifting the nose a little bit. So subtle things that make a really, really big difference.
How do you do that? How do you lift the nose? Is that with filler?
So yes, the doctor uses special fillers depending on the physique of the face. He chooses the right filler, and he uses different techniques. Sometimes to straighten is to really fill in where the bumps are. He works on the bridge to create a different profile, and that changes also the area around the eyes, and here on the tip, on
Yeah.
the top of the tip of the nose, that lifts the nose a little bit. I mean, it's not just for transgender. I mean, boys have this done, men, ladies, young ladies as well. It's just subtle changes that make a big difference, because everything in the face is, we perceive it in relation to other features. So sometimes people come and say, I want to have my nose surgically corrected or changed, but I wanted to give it another chance with aesthetics. And what the doctor does, he does work on the nose and works on the cheeks, and the nose afterwards looks much, much smaller, not just more straight, but actually, which, you know, you think, how is that possible? You add things. The way we perceive things. We work on the skin, because radiant skin is another feature that supports with transition, and obviously hormonal changes and so on. So we support from the outside.
Because we've been recommending lately, more so, because a lot of transgender ladies and gents come to us and just ask kind of, you know, what surgery you've had done. And for me and Jossie, we really stayed away from surgery. We wanted to, because I just didn't think I had to do something so drastic to myself, my face being one of them,
had no surgery on my face
to enhance my feminine look. And what we've been trying to recommend to people is look at the aesthetic side, look at filler, look at Botox, look at what, without cutting into you and chopping away bone and changing things, you can actually make such a subtle, natural difference that will really be an impact on yourself. I mean, you spoke to the lady the other day about the nose.
I've been looking into getting my nose done, but I think the lady I spoke to, she was just concerned about how the nose would look. But you've just said there, it's not just the nose, it's just little other things.
Yes,
you know, I mean, and it's all subtleties.
Yes, that's true. You know what? There are so many procedures that people can't even dream of having, because they don't realize it's possible. For instance, you can have your eyes, eyelid lift done without surgery, without cutting, which is a permanent result. Actually, I had, for instance, with lips, I'm 53, obviously you lose volume and so on, but I don't like the look where the lips
You don't look 53, darling.
Thank you. I look 63. Thank you, my darling. So what I had done, for instance, is there is a way of surgically lifting the lips, lifting them up on the side and so on. But I don't like surgery. So we have a treatment that uses plasma fusion. It's called Plexa, the device. We use it to do the eyes. But I had my eyes done, and also I had here. It basically takes, it works dot by dot and sublimates skin, which means reduces the skin. So I had this a little bit lifted, and here, so I don't have filler, but I lifted my lips because naturally with age, the skin just pushes the lips inward, and this is where you get the, for instance, the sad look. You can have permanently bigger lips slowly by lifting them without cutting, and then filling with filler. There are treatments now. I mean, we have some treatments that we have been introducing, but recently we've got hair, treating hair loss or making hair look thicker with using stem cells. So it's micrografting hair transplant, not surgery, but taking a little bit of tissue in the back here, then creating the stem cells and then re-injecting them in the front to get richer looks. Hair is another important asset in terms of how everything looks.
And do you feel some celebrities go too far? And I feel personally, do what you want, it's your body, but just always remember there's risks to any type of procedure in the beauty industry, in the surgical industry, in the aesthetics industry. There's risks, and you need to be fully aware of them before you dive in to any procedure, whether it be surgical or non-surgical. Do you feel that that is the correct advice we need to be given to people, to really look into do the research before you just you know, there's these botched clinics that are around. You see some horrific results from people, and it is upsetting that such a fantastic, I feel, treatments are available that are so fantastic are getting overshadowed by the botched jobs. That just, it just shows a lack of commitment from the, obviously the person doing it, but also the person receiving the treatment. You've got to really love your body and care about your body before you go through anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like what Vikki just said. Yeah.
There are two issues here. One of the issues in the UK specifically is that people inject or do treatments that are medical without being just, sometimes just having done a few weeks of a course of beauty, like doing eyelashes, and then they start injecting people's lips, or even Botox, which is illegal, but people do this from the back of their house, in a shed, just name it, anything is happening. This is the, I mean, the UK is the only country where people are injecting without being doctors. So in those cases, they are not qualified, and they have no access to the antidotes, for instance. So they can't handle any complications. So one of the things is that people are doing treatments who should not be allowed to be near a needle, which means the public are not safe if they don't do their homework and they don't go to a reputable clinic where they know the person is medically trained, it's a doctor or prescribing nurse with experience. They know how to handle complications and so on. This is one thing. The other thing is, we as clinics and we as professionals need to, we are aware, and we have to be aware, and we need to have this discussion with people coming to us about issues of confidence and body dysmorphia. So there is a big responsibility there when treatments are undertaken or surgery is done for, I don't want to point fingers, but for different reasons, when there is an issue of body dysmorphia, and that should be dealt in a different way, not with surgery. I personally believe in, you know, live and let live and laissez-faire, but as a profession, so I wouldn't point the finger. I don't like people being really nasty to some celebrities or people who have had the surgery. I don't like that, because that shows their own anger with issues they have themselves.
However, that's such a good point. That is such a good point. I agree with that.
People look for excuses to be nasty. So you always can find reasons to be nasty, trolling and so on online. So that's another issue. However, as professionals, we have to take responsibility for this and talk to the person and direct them and talk to them about being safe. We can't force them, but we should refuse treatment if we think it goes against what we stand for, which is supporting people.
Because rather than take the money,
look good.
Rather than take the money, exactly, rather than take the money, you'd rather, I think, giving the best of it, and I think that's the best food for thought. So before we go on to the next segment, what have you got coming this year, 2008? What have you got coming to the clinics? What new treatments are out there? And how do they get in touch with you as well? We want to know.
Well, we're in Milan because we are introducing another treatment, and we are doing a masterclass training. So things that are coming in the UK are fat transfer. You know, you can do fat transfer, but with stem cells. So nano fat transfer, which is non-surgical, which you can work on the face or, you know, around the areas here, etc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you take some of my fat? Transfer it away. Transfer it away.
It's not for taking away fat. It's actually for injecting fat stem cells into areas where the fat goes, because this is the first thing that we lose. For instance, underneath here, this is when the fat, we lose the support. There is the micrografting hair transplant and stem cell skin rejuvenation as well. Something that's really good is HIFU. This is very, very popular in our clinic lately, because you can do jawline lift, you can do thighs, you can do. Oh, I just realized what is the newest that is. Yeah, it's becoming very popular. It's called Endopeel. We just introduced it. We've just come back last month from Zurich. It's a treatment that works on the muscle. So it's injectable bum lift, injectable six packs for men, injectable lift in this area. It's not permanent. It lasts for about 1 to 2 years. So it needs to be repeated, but it doesn't mean that everything falls down. It's just you get the result with the bum, for instance, as if you had been training very, very hard every day for 3 years. This is how it works, and it is instant.
Wow. And how do people get in contact? How do people get in contact with you? How do people get in contact with the clinic? How can they book in?
Well, they can call us on our number, or just go on our website, and there is contact buttons for booking, for calling. It's Vie Aesthetics, vieaesthetics.com.
Right. Perfect. That's absolutely brilliant. We would just like to thank you for joining us today. Honestly, that it was very educational for me. I'm going to be going on our website. I'm going to be booking in because I need some bum lifting. That's what I want to once again thank you. Please go and enjoy Milan. Buy lots of handbags, and I will see you soon, my dear.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the show. I just wanted to say, ladies, well done for your talk show. It's very important to be able to listening to things from different perspectives, and especially for young kids who've got lots and lots of questions. So you're doing really well there. And ciao.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, bye.
Oh my God, I love her. Bye.
Bye.
I thought that was so interesting. We are going to move straight over to now. That's what I call a discussion.
Yeah.
And don't forget, guys, Vie Aesthetics, vieaesthetics.com. There's numbers, everything is so many procedures. Yeah. We're going to invite Jay. Sign me up for the 6th pack. Bring Jay in.
Let's have a chat with
Let's have a chat with Jay and see what he's been up to. Oh, so I'm getting that food. Maybe you can just get lots of
I just want everything done with me.
Just waiting for Jay to join us, guys. We are going to be talking about everything.
Yes, we've got some very interesting topics.
We do.
In our little discussion here. So when Jay comes in, we can make a start.
Yeah, well, we'll move forward. Waiting for Jay to join us. Well, I have one question, and I have something to tell you. I'm transgender.
I'm gonna stop this broadcast right now. I'm off.
I'm out of here.
Sign up for this.
So come on then, Justy. Were you shocked?
No, because I'm transgender too.
What? No. Jay, if you want to invite yourself to join us, just know that just went off there. I'm just gonna
do it.
See if I can re-add him. J, exactly. J, where are you? So the discussion is, when do you tell your partner, a guy you're dating,
or a woman that you're dating, partner covered
that you are trans? Should you? Do you really have to? I mean, after all these procedures and everything, do we need to?
This has been a discussion that me and Faye have been having quite often over the past couple of months, because my dating history hasn't been that great, and I've had this dilemma probably about 3 or 4 times last year, where I've kind of met people, started to get to know them, and then the question comes up, I'm going to have to tell them.
Hello!
Sorry, my mic fucked up. Anyway, what did I miss?
We just started the conversation of when do you tell your partner, but we'll jump back to that. We want to know what's been going on.
So tell everyone What's
Right.
been happening?
There's not much of a story now. It's sorted. It went like quite
Lies.
quite big, and it went quite like quickly. But like now I've spoken to the manager and there's legal stuff, so I'm like quite bored with it now. I've got nothing to do, so I need to basically I went into the barbers and straight away they presumed I was a woman identifying, so I had to, you know, explain, and I very rudely got rejected. It was absolutely dehumanizing. There was a shop full of people, and obviously for any trans person that would be very distressing. I'm not even in the camera. Any trans person to be in that situation would be very distressing. To have to sort of like have to clarify your gender to a room of strangers and have
Absolutely.
to sort of like prove yourself, and obviously that's where the anger came from, because the man who was working at the time more or less said like, well, no, we don't do trans hair, we don't do like women, we don't do anything, so you're gonna have to leave. Basically got pushed out the shop. So by the time everything happened and it went on Facebook and God knows what happened, it ended up the manager got in contact. I had a good like 20-minute phone call with her and stuff, and she's promised and reassured us that she's getting a legal team involved to be able to sort out this. Like, it was one person at the end of the day, and they've made it look, the full business look bad. So it's just highlighting the importance of it, really. How.
Well, I hope you've been offered a free haircut.
What? Oh yeah, I've been offered a
I hope you've been offered a free haircut for
yeah.
life. Free hair for life.
Yeah, I'm planning it. At least a year I'm going to try.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my instant reaction is, how on earth do they think they have the right to make you explain? For one, you don't have to. You could have been, I could have walked in there and told them that I was transitioning the other direction or whatever. They should just accept it on face value. And that's where we are right now, 2018. We need to start accepting more people on a face value level of how that individual identifies. And that should be the bottom line. It shouldn't be a case of prove it. Do we have to have cards now? Or it shouldn't be anything like that. The fact that you were made to feel minute.
A reliable system at all if everybody has to be able to prove something to be able to get something simple as a haircut or walk into a toilet, and that's like the main issue that like has definitely been highlighted for me the past few days. So it was definitely opening to have to go through the sort of discrimination on that sort of high level.
Can I just ask you, can I ask you on a personal level, how did it make you feel really?
It was
going in, just having a haircut, and then this happened.
It was very dehumanizing because the full time the incorrect pronouns were being used. It was sort of like, well, can I have my hair cut? They were like, no, you're going to have to go to a women's hairdressers and stuff. And it's like, my hair's pretty short. Like, they're going to use clippers anyway. So it was a slightly ridiculous situation. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was the worst bit. And especially after I clarified and I had to say in front of a room full of people, like, I'm trans and I identify as male, and they were like, oh yeah, but go next door to the hairdressers. It was kind of very dehumanizing. It was like they didn't listen to anything I was saying. They completely brushed it off, like, just by looking at my face. So that's where the stress and the anger came from during the full situation.
And what resolution, I mean, what have they said is going to happen? What has the manager said? And, you know, is this person going to be reprimanded? Not that that's what we are screaming for, but what happened was completely wrong, and it needs to be dealt with. Yeah,
well, I had a chat with the owner and the manager today, like I said on the phone. It was a good, like, 20-minute chat. So by the end of it, she did say, like, through, like, procedure and stuff, she had to get everything legal sorted. And by the end of it, he probably will be reprimanded. But as well as that, it's just more or less reminding the staff, and a lot of them were, like, quite nice and sending us messages and stuff, but just reminding them of basic human rights. And hopefully it just reminds other places, like, you can't just reject people because you feel like it. So hopefully that works.
Over a haircut, over for the simplest thing is a haircut.
Definitely.
We feel it's an abuse of whatever power trip that person felt they were on, in my opinion.
That's the going mental, man. It's crazy.
Whatever power trip that guy, girl, him, whoever told you and said this to you, totally out of order. And we are genuinely, when I saw it, I instantly saw it. I was like, I'm getting him on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing this now. I was like, here we go. And for me, it was more like, that's not how it is all the time, and that is just totally a one-off.
Yeah.
But it does happen, and the fact that you're coming forward and talking and just educating is just fantastic. While you're here, though, we've got a few subjects that we want to discuss. We don't know much about you. We don't know if you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. But our discussion is, when do you tell loved ones around you or new partners that you're trans, and do you think you have to?
If we start with the partner one, because just to clarify for the conversation, I am single, but it was I meet them and everything. Like, if you go on a Tinder date, it's kind of like you can't just be like, by the way, I'm trans, because if they're coming to meet you and they're unsafe, but then if you don't tell them, they find out. It's just one of them. I think for trans people, it's very underestimated how hard it actually is.
Yeah, it's like we were saying before, it's actually been a conversation me and Faye have had quite regularly over the past few months, because I'm single, and at the moment my love life is just, I don't know where it's gone. It's been dreadful.
Jossie's love life's like a really, really, really bad day. It doesn't just rain, it pours.
Yeah.
Jossie was stood up a few times. And the conversation came around. Jossie said to me, when do I tell them? And I was a bit like, oh, well, I don't think you should do it straight away. And this is my opinion to everyone. I don't believe you should do it straight away. I believe you should do it before you have any intimate relations. Yeah. But I don't believe... I believe that then you are just giving someone an instant card to judge you straight away, regardless of what we want everyone to be nice. It doesn't work that way. Let them get to know you. I'm sorry, this day and age, women, men, any of us, we shouldn't be opening our legs that easily. If
you just the main issue is for a lot of cis people, genitals. So unless you plan to show them, like, can you not like get to know them a little while? But then
exactly,
you just get to know a person
comes around, and then it's a catch-22. So it's hard to know. I think it depends on the person, how open they are, because if I met a girl and I was talking to her, I'd be completely open at the fact I was trans, but I know a lot of trans guys who would prefer to curl up in a ball before they told anybody, and I think obviously it's the same for trans women, binary people, and however anybody identifies. So.
And what do you think with your friends? When you meet new friends, we meet new friends all the time. And
it just comes out sometimes.
It sometimes just comes out
and you don't realise. And then sometimes you just don't say anything.
Sometimes we go home and I'm like, did we tell them?
And then like, yeah, did we tell this person?
Did that come up?
No.
And then we started discussing today, do they have to even know?
Exactly, do they even have to know?
Friends of mine that I don't see every day, like Jossie and other people in my life, yeah, they know, but some friends who I might only see like once a month or twice a month, do I really have to instantly be like, oh, well, you're my friend, so you need to know? I don't think we do.
Want to tell, in my opinion.
That's right, I agree. I agree.
You shouldn't have to.
It depends on
I have a question for you. Obviously, being transgender, you tell your family and friends.
Yeah.
I told my parents when I was 13, only because I understood it then. I was obviously different beforehand, but I didn't really understood it, so I couldn't give it a label. My dad reacted really, really bad, but for the right reasons. You'll get what I mean. He was just scared of this world and what we live in, and he was like, no, it's going to be really bad. It can end I mean, I even remember one point, he followed me to London and was like, just stay gay. And I was like, I've never been gay. I've never been gay.
Yeah, that's,
But I understood it came from a place of love. My mum, she just needed more support, so I supported her. What's your experience been like?
mine hasn't been bad. It's obviously the adjusting period. I came out a lot later. I came round about 17-ish, and I'm only 18 now, so I am quite like early on the transition. I'm nowhere near sort of like hormone replacement.
17 still young though.
Yeah, but it's sort of, obviously the adjusting period is something I'm still very much in with friends and stuff, like, and family. It's sort of everybody just getting used to the name change, and it's been a year, but obviously it still happens. So just at the moment, like, everybody in my life is very supportive and doesn't hate it. It's just sort of being patient, which is not too bad really. It could be a lot worse, so I am grateful for that.
And what do you feel the support network in Newcastle is, as in talk places to go to talk, support groups, is like, do you think there's any for trans people, do you think there's any that's actually good?
Yeah, there's a few. Like, the safe spaces in Newcastle are very much orientated on alcohol, so I suppose for young people it is harder unless you actively go out and try to join a group and get a parent's signature and all that sort of stuff. So there's a group in town under MESMAC, and that's a really good group for trans people along the spectrum, and just like sit and talk and all that sort of stuff, and a lot of people do find that helpful, and that was something I used to go to a lot when I first started transitioning as well, to sort of like have other people who understood. So
they go by the name of Time Trans, don't they?
It used to be Time Trans. It used to be Time Trans. Now
no, I've changed the name to Trinity Youth, I think. I don't know. I'll look.
So following on from support group, so we went to a support group. And it wasn't a good experience because our opinion was different to others. What we didn't like by that, and we told the group, we left, but we told the group, we came as who we were, and we came to discuss our opinions, and we came to obviously learn. And they kind of threw us out. They were very rude to us, very nasty. And we were kind of just saying, well, like, educate us, because we didn't really know. We were seeking help. And what we've been thinking lately, because we work with so many charities, so many youth, adult, all spectrum of every kind of person. Do you feel that there needs to be more in Newcastle? We're thinking, and we have been approached to launch a support group for, families, individuals who identify as whoever they want to identify
like anywhere on the spectrum.
To come, to talk, to chat, just to have a coffee if you want. And we've also been approached, and we just want your opinion, because we never get the opportunity to speak to a trans guy. We've also been asked if we would kind of help open a transgender dating company, just like that's how I thought when I got mentioned. I was like, what? So we have all these TV shows, Jossie, as we discussed last week, The Undateables, etc. It helps people with learning difficulties. So we were kind of said, we would love you to open a support group. We love that idea. We were like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then there was like, oh, but we also have an idea of doing like a dating agency to help transgender people connect with other trans people, or other people who are really open and really comfortable dating, individuals.
Yeah, because a lot of trans dating sites aren't dating sites.
We've noticed they're not dating sites unless you've got a very, very big credit card.
Yeah. So
we're wondering your opinion, because we've asked.
Fetish control, like, do you have time to like weed out all like the really weird 40-year-olds who have like a trans fetish would be half the issue?
Who only want to see you like, dressed in a certain way.
But that's where we would. Well, when I discussed further, so they said, oh well, we would put things in. You can obviously block anyone.
Yeah.
Just as Facebook, you can report people, and we wouldn't probably do it online. It would be a case of register with us. We will sit down and we will try and find you a date. through the database, rather than giving someone full action and full engagement with anyone, because that's how you get not very nice people who want to abuse the situation. So we wanted your opinion on the support group, especially in Newcastle, and do you feel there could be a platform just where it's an open space? It's very obviously, we understand it's a transgender dating company, but it's not just for trans people. Anyone can come and date.
Trans friendly.
It's very, very trans friendly.
Yeah.
And for me, any friendly, so we could have a non-binary person, we could have a trans person, we could have anyone, but then the people that are going to come to this kind of agency would know this. So it's not a guessing game. It's not a she said she wasn't, now it's not any of that. The kind of your cards are on the table. And for people who are comfortable enough to put the cards on the table, I kind of felt it was kind of an okay idea, as long as it wasn't abused.
Definitely get the elephant out the room, out the way. Like, just to get, like, the sort of, like, I'm trans, do you care bit, because that's a very awkward part of any sort of situation. Especially, like, whether you pass, you don't pass, it's a very weird conversation to have. So, it would...
Well, the biggest thing I keep hearing at the moment is loneliness. Loneliness. I have a partner, I've been with my partner quite a long time, but when I've been single, being lonely is horrible. Then there's the worry of, will the person I meet accept me? When do I tell them? This. And I've just, obviously, through the charity work and that we've been discussing, I've just been thinking more about the other idea they said. And I just feel if it was put out there and it was done correctly, it could really connect some individuals that could potentially grow a fantastic relationship.
If you did the support groups, you could do, like, trans speed dating for, like, charity fundraisers stuff.
Well, what a good idea. I'm going to steal that one. Yeah. Write that down. And would you come?
What?
Would you come to the speed dating?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm single.
Would you come to the support group?
Yeah, go on then. Do I get tea?
Hey, get lots of tea.
I make a very nice
very good tea. Right, well, we are honestly very, very grateful that you joined us, and thank you so much for, being brave, coming on, chatting. Yeah. We wish you all the success, and we're on Facebook now, so...
we hope things get sorted as well with this silly barbers.
I'm sure it
Free
will.
haircuts.
Yes, definitely.
Free haircuts.
Free haircuts. Not just free, do it for life, man.
So we just want to say thank you once again, and we will be in touch soon, and keep in touch, and we'll let you know about everything to go with the show, okay?
Cheers, thanks. Bye.
No problem. Over and out. See you there.
Bye.
Thank you. What a refreshing, gentlemen.
Oh, you said honey.
Well, guys, we're going to move on to now. That's what I call the news. Oh, it's the end of the show.
So, the news. If you've been living under a rock, you probably won't know. But
I've got a nice rock, guys. I've got a nice rock.
It is.
Don't forget, guys, keep sharing. We want to build the audience. We want to build our connection out there.
So yesterday marked 100 years since women over the age of 30 could vote in this country. 100 years. And I think that's quite an achievement. We've got to 100 years. Where are we now? 100 years on. 100 years ago, unmarried women couldn't vote. Women under 30 couldn't vote. There was probably a lot of restrictions on lots of different types of women who couldn't vote. And I think we're now in 2018, we can vote, but we also have the right not to vote if we don't want to. And I think that is just the world we're living in. I think there's been some fantastic programs on Channel 4 have been doing a lot for this actually. Channel 4 and Channel 5, just celebrating like really inspirational women.
So, were we going off the whole year of a woman and year of equality? Is that where we're going, yeah? Why can't it just be called year of equality? Which then underlines everything. No. Underlines everything, as in, you know, back in the day, the disgraceful racism we had. where we came from there, discrimination, LGBT, and so on. We came from there. I mean, come on, it stems from like even in some countries abortion and everything like that. I just think it would have been just great if it was just the year of the human, and where we came, where we are, because she's got her hair, because it kind of then categorized, so it's just about women, but it's not like we've achieved so much more than just being allowed to vote and all. We've done so much more.
Yeah. So my answer to that is, I hear what you're saying, and I agree, but it is important to have specific days, months, a year for women, just to really hone in that achievement, and it just brings it home to you, like 100 years ago, like women could not vote.
Nah, I don't need a year to know I'm awesome.
And that's the thing. It's like, I'm trying to think how to articulate it. I think maybe the way moving forward is eventually there will be no need to have a year with a woman, because it will just naturally be a year for everyone. But the world we live in at the moment, I think just it needs reminding. I think the world is, for a lot of women in a lot of countries as well, is a scary place. Countries
God, yes.
Certain countries like Saudi Arabia, I think women there have only just been allowed, they've only just been given the right to drive.
Well, didn't we?
We
saw the mutilation.
Yeah, like some women have no say in what goes on in their body. 100 years ago in this country, that was going on. Like my grandma's generation, after you got married, a woman could not work. It was really difficult for a woman to work.
Bring back those days. I'm happy not working.
We want the choice. It's all about, nowadays, it's all about the choice. So if you want to work, if you want to be a woman and work, great. But if you want to just stay at home, well, hey, that's great as well, because the way I view it, that's what people call.
But do you not feel even now, working women judge women that don't work, and it's kind of like, what?
There is a, I think women should maybe be, Year of the Woman should be about looking at issues that do specifically target women.
That's great.
That's the way to look at it. And maybe we should try and build each other up instead of tearing each other down. And maybe accepting our differences and understanding that we have them. And I always just think, try and replace hatred and nastiness with kindness and love. So just embrace kindness.
Moving on.
So earlier in the show, they mentioned the other day we watched a very interesting documentary.
There's the one on tomorrow as well, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yes, about the James Bojack killers, and basically what's kind of happened since they got released. And it's just been in the news today that John Venables has been jailed for possessing images of child pornography. And he's been given 3.5 years in prison. Obviously, he's not known as John Venables anymore, but the person who was John Venables, who killed a lovely 2.5-year-old little boy, was free for many years, is now back in prison. But he's back in prison for child porn. Do
you not just think, as soon as that happened, right, as soon as he recommitted any form, it should have just been like, you know what, you've not learned. In fact, you're worse. Go back to prison. You're there for life. Yeah. We want to know your thoughts on that as well. We want to know what you think. Is the law too lenient? These two boys were 10 when they did it. They killed an innocent little boy.
They went out with the intention to kill.
Oh, they knew what they were doing. 100% they knew what they were doing. They were like, we're going to go do this.
That day, they were going to kill a child.
And Channel 4, they did a good show, and it was really, really cool, but it just tried to make them seem less bad as they were. And that, to me, doesn't sit well. They were monsters. Anyone that can hurt an innocent child that I can just imagine would have been crying and just distraught is a monster. He then goes on to get released, and then he's possessing of thousands and thousands of children pornography. He's a monster, and he shouldn't be allowed to be alive.
It should have been a condition of his release, that when he was released from prison, basically keep your nose clean, If you do
Anything.
even the slightest thing out of line, you are back in prison, and you are back in there for life, or if not life, a very, very long time. But I would say for life.
What do you
That's my
think?
opinion.
Is the law too lenient on pedophiles and young murderers? Do we approach it all wrong? We want to hear from you. But that is all we've got time
That's all
for,
we've got
guys.
time for.
What an
It's been
exciting show we've
Very,
had.
very interesting show, very informative.
And we want to hear from you once again. Please share the video as much as you can. Like the page, share the page, like the video, get our audience filled.
Message us with discussion topics.
Oh yes, love the discussion topics. Please message us.
And if you would like to appear on the show, well, get in touch with
Well,
us.
I'll have to think about it.
Well, she'll have to think about it.
But it's a yes.
Yeah.
Well, good night from me.
Good night from me.
See you later, guys.